It's going to be on
New
YouTube.
generations have been called upon to defend the cause
Is that
of
okay?
liberty and freedom.
All right.
The French
Cool.
of the late
Thank
18th
you.
century, our own
Don't worry, I don't
founders,
get that many hits yet on
the
my
great
channel.
Czechoslovak and East German people of our own lifetimes. They answered the call and stood up to tyranny. Nothing less, folks, than our collective survival is at stake. And now it's our turn to step up. You know, by the way, I've only got about 30 seconds. In the 2 hours of this Tea Party event, the federal government has borrowed, in your name and mine, an additional $300 million. In 2 hours. That's what we're up against, folks. Please, by all means, sign up at these tables behind us here and get active. We need you all. We can't do it. A lot of folks here are really dedicated to the cause. We need you. Without you, we're nowhere. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you.
I gotta say hi to the people in the back. Remember, go back there, stop by at some of those tables, get involved, get active. Why? Because it's about... Oh, you guys are getting good. One more. Everybody! Word, 2 syllables, but it means so much.
Smile pretty.
Sorry, lady. Weather's gorgeous.
The weather's good. You know, everyone said it was going to rain. It got on my rain boots. Everyone's giving me crap for my boots.
Stephanie, your snake boots. I brought my camera.
Good. Say hi. Say hi. Say, look at Grandpa. Say, Grandpa's a good guy. She's like, she looked at Grandpa. Love you, my sister with God.
Media makes it very clear.
That's right. That's a great sign. That's probably the best one I've seen all day.
Have forgotten what their job was, why we hired them, and what we pay them for. They were passing legislation, legally binding legislation we would have to pay for the rest of our lives without reading it. And when we tried to confront them about the basics of a client-employee relationship, they turned on us and tried to discredit and ridicule us. We need to remind them and everybody who's forgotten what we are, who we are, and why we are. When you pay an attorney to represent you in a legally binding situation, and he doesn't question whether the solution he is pushing has been tried before, whether it has ever worked before, whether it has consistently made the situation worse every time it is done. He is not doing his job and he is ripping you off. God help any of us if we did this to our employer. If they put us in charge of a multi-million-dollar purchase and we ended up with something that wasn't what it was supposed to be, that was going to cost them more and not do the job because we didn't bother to read what the contract was before we signed it and made it legally binding. country.
2010, actually 2009, we started a project called Project 2010. And very quickly, I want to tell you about Project 2010. Watch out, it comes. Project 2010 does 4 things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to promote a citizens referendum to abolish the government of New York State. That referendum is perfectly legal, and it is binding on the government if it is held in all 960 towns, in all 62 60 cities, in every election district, and every single person has an opportunity to vote. And if I get $50 million, we'll make that happen. And we can turn this government upside down, as Carl says, and shake them out until all the corruption falls out. But that's not going to happen until I win the lottery, or until one of you gives me $50 million. But we're teaching people how important it is to revise the Constitution of New York. How many of you want term limits? I want term limits. How many of you want to be able to live in your home without paying property tax?
Yes! Yes!
We can do that in the Constitution.
Surprise the change we can impact, getting this ship righted again. For freedom and liberty for groups and individuals. For freedom! Freedom! Freedom!
Are there any American patriots out there? One more time, are there any American patriots out there? When I was inducted into the U.S. military and also into the New York State Police, I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And is passing the bills for our fiscal responsibility to our children. And like Washington, Albany is living way beyond its fiscal means. Ask yourselves,